Oh, wow, look at this. It's incredible. See the eyes right there? And the another eye right there. And it looks like a mouth and then chin. A big nose right here. But can you see that? Look at that. Eye, and maybe some tears right there. And, oh, it was actually popcorn. Huh. That's crazy. And what you just witnessed is a phenomenon called I think it's pareidolia. Kind of a strange word I haven't seen before, but I think I pronounced that right. And if you can look right here, it says that it's come on, window. The tendency to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random or ambiguous visual pattern. Okay, now here's how it's pronounced.
Pareidolia.
Okay, let's listen to that again.
Pareidolia.
Wait a minute. Did you hear the way that guy sounded? He sounded like the same guy that says down the hill. Whoa, maybe you should call up Webster Dictionary, see who makes these recordings, and see if he was anywhere near Indiana at the time. It's amazing. Let's do that again.
Pareidolia.
Can you hear that? Down the hill.
Pareidolia.
Kind of has that scruffy sound. Wow. Okay, see, that's actually what people do in these groups. They go off on these wild tangents, and believe me, they're wild tangents. They don't perceive it that way, though. That's just that's the truth. They just don't want to hear it. And look, here's an example of one that I did. My friend tried to trick me. She sent me this image. You go, look at that. Can you see the? There's like a beagle. It's pooping. It's got the ears, the nose right there, top of the head. It's crouched down. You can see it. Look at that. It's over there, doing its thing. And I was like, I don't know. Looks kind of too small, so I had her send me the original image. And by God, it's a Dasania water bottle. Looks nothing like a beagle when you take away all the blurriness. See? I don't know if it is a Dasania water bottle, but it looks like one, okay? But here's the blurry image. And look at that. It's the same image. But when you blur it out and you start zooming in on pixels, you can see all kinds of random things. All right? So that's an example that, at first I thought, wow, that does look like a beagle. But the difference between me and a lot of people that I know and some of these Facebook people that are the wild speculator types is that once presented with the image that's clear and shows the water bottle, which, this one clearly shows that it's a water bottle. I then don't keep going back to this image and saying, no, but everybody, look at that. It's really a beagle. Okay. Once you see this right here, you should change your complete idea of the situation and move on. Okay. But what we keep seeing is that even after this, things have been explained to some people, they keep bringing it up. They can't let it go because they were so, they believed it so strongly that they can't let it go. It's like cognitive dissonance or, there's another term, I think it's called, confirmation bias. Now they can't let it go, so everything they look at will help try to explain what they believe instead of actually changing their own mind based on the new evidence that they've received. Okay, and here's another one. A lot of people said they see a face right here, and this was on Mars, okay? NASA even sent a satellite to Mars and filmed that specific area to see if it indeed was a face put there by some long-lost civilization. All right, so let's move it forward here. You can see, here's another satellite image. It's getting a little dicey now, not really a face. And then 1976, that was the one that sort of started looking like a face, but then now it doesn't look anything like a face when they get really clear resolution on it. Okay, it's still kind of an interesting overall shape, but it's not a face, all right? And here's a dolphin in the clouds, okay? We all know that's not a dolphin, but when you look at it, the first thing you think of is a dolphin. Now, some of you will probably say, no, Gray, I saw an airplane. Tilted sideways, just to be contradictory. Okay, and here's another one. The chin, big lower lip, big nose coming up there, eye socket, forehead, coming around, but we all know that's not really a face, right? It's in the clouds. Now that we know about the phenomenon called pareidolia, we understand why people see the things they see. For example, this is what today's debunking video number 7 will be about. The area enclosed in green right here. People say they see a car there, a person here, maybe up to 3 people and 4 cars they see. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you why that's not true. But first, let's see some of the comments they made. It's either a black small Ford or dark blue Honda hatchback. I mean, to get that specific in just some darkness is, pure lunacy. And then listen to this. There are also 3 men in close proximity of your blue circle. So they're supportive of the car, and now they're going to add in, there's 3 people in here. And then this person was being sarcastic. There's those cars again nobody sees. This is one of the clearest pictures I've ever seen, being sarcastic about how blurry it actually is. Okay. And here's another spot they circled, another person circled. This is the same pillar right here. They say they see somebody. If you look at it closely, it looks like somebody has a bikini, black bikini top on, a bag overhead there, shoulder, right elbow. I'm not sure what else is going on there, but you know what? I know that's just not true because it's a pillar, okay? Just look at it clearly and objectively. Go do research, find videos and references, and then you'll find that you're just not accurate. Okay, now we're even zooming in. So see this area right here? Look at this. So now they're zooming in even further onto that. So this part right there is actually right there. Unbelievable. So now we're getting into this really small, highly pixelated stuff. And look at, they're pointing at this little dark spot. As if you can... Why? Okay, so if that's a head there with a black hat, why isn't that one, this one, this one, that one, this one? Why aren't all of those people? Okay, it's amazing that you would just sort of claim that that's a black hat guy. And look at that, at least 4, maybe more. Surely the FBI knows about this. No wonder the investigation is taking so long. A gang or a group? Really? 4 cars? Hopefully that was somebody that was skeptical. But then this person says, can I share? And that's where it all begins. It gets spread around in all the groups. Then other people start seeing these shapes in their head because it was pointed out to them. Okay? So now let me get into the actual technical aspect of why this just is not real. Okay? So let's get started with this. This is a video created by Julie Melvin. It's a lot clearer than the video that's out on... oh, and by the way, let's pause it. Look at that. There's a person watching again right there. That's a callback from an earlier debunking video. Right, but this is the clear video by Julie Melvin. And if you notice, this is platform number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it's she's out a little further out onto the platform than Libby was. Okay, and if you notice, here is the damaged railroad tie right there. You can see this white, I don't know, it almost looks like paint, but obviously it's probably not paint. Different discolorations right there. And let's see, let's keep the video. Now it's going to pause, and here is the overlay of the image of Abby. Now, if you notice right there, that's exactly the spot here. Right there and right there. And as you can tell, Libby is further onto the bridge than Julie Melvin is. Okay, now notice this angle right here of the railroad ties is different than this angle, which actually goes a little bit the other direction. So that means, and you can also tell that, notice the side rail on the tracks, the angle of that. This one's much steeper. So she's out further, and notice how you can see underneath the bridge, the girders there. Well, you can see more of it. All right. So we're seeing more detail, but this is amazingly almost in exactly the same position. And let's see. So that right here, when you're looking on the left down here, you see this pylon made of stones that holds up the girders that support the bridge. So the pylon goes in, the girders go on top of the pylon. I'm not sure how they're fastened or if they go inside of it and it's molded around. I don't know, but this is a a stone pylon, and they're all along the bridge on the land portion on the southeast side of the creek. All right. So in this case, we're actually looking back towards the start of the bridge on the northwest side. All right. So this is a stone pylon, and we're gonna get into some more detail on that in just a second. All right. Now in this image, you can see a set of them right here. There's another set right there through the trees that you can't actually see. But as you can see, there's one on that side and this side. And I think they continue along the bridge as it goes. All right, now here's a closer up. You can see it. Here's platform 3 up here, by the way. So, this is probably the exact rock pylon that we're looking at in the image of Abby. All right, now here is some drone footage by Jacob Adams, and I'm going to scroll through this slowly, and I think you can actually make them out right here. Keep your eye on this sort of this formation right here. Okay, see that? And it's the stone. Looks like the stone pylon right below the girders. So it goes into it, on top of it. Okay, and you can see another set here, here, and it just keeps on going. All right, so that's that portion. Okay, now let's take a clear look at underneath the bridge. I'm going to do an overlay, which was pretty incredible that it was almost identical. Julie Melvin's image from her video and the image that Libby took on the bridge. It's almost identical, other than what I explained earlier. So here we go. There's the image that Libby took of Abby. And there's the portion in question that everybody is talking about, that they see a person there and a car right there. Now, I slid it over. Now watch this. It's pretty remarkable. I'm going to blink it on and off. Look at that. I mean, look, you can even line up, all the trees are lining up. Okay, now you see, that's actually the rock pylon right there. Okay, let's keep linking it. And also notice where they say the car is, right there, okay? See how there's shadows? If you kind of squint your eyes, you can see it's darker there. It just depends on how you darken up the image or process it. If you look at Libby's photo, it's a lot darker in general, okay? So I'm going to blink it on and off. Now, you can just tell that there's no car there, right? I mean, I'm going to blink it on and off. One interesting thing is, if you notice right here, there's a stripe. You can see these stripes when you blink it. So these are actually, I'm not sure if it's wood or more metal, but they protrude out right there. Okay, and I actually zoom in on it right here. So if you can see that, you can see them sticking out right there. Now this one right here, because of the angle that Julie is filming at, it doesn't go out quite as far, but if you imagine moving to your right a little bit, this thing protrudes out, and it would probably be about right here. Okay, and that's what we're seeing when we let's put that back on right there. You see that? So that's what gives that sort of extra nodule when you go back and forth. All right, there's no person there. And here's an image taken by Beth Moyer Klein. This is filming from platform 1. And if you look right there, those two trees are the same two trees that are actually right here. Okay, these two trees are the same as these two trees. And basically right in here is where they're saying that car is parked. And it just isn't. Okay, There's no car. Look how dense that is too. I mean, to navigate through all of these and then park here. And why would you park right there anyways? I mean, that means anybody walking across could see that there were cars there. Why? That's just a terrible place to do anything for the people who believe there was a drug deal going on, or for the people who think that the suspect just hid down there. I mean, I think it's ludicrous. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this. I think it's useful to keep seeing this back and forth. Right here is actually some water. In February, when I blink it back and forth, you'll see that there's actually water right there. Okay, and it runs into the creek. And again, you can see that in Beth's image right there. I think this video completely debunks the myth that there is a car and people in the image of Abby below the bridge. If we're intellectually honest, we'll say that it's possible that there's a suspect under the bridge, or a person under the bridge, maybe not even the suspect, that we can't see in any of the images that that Libby took while she was on the bridge. Okay, we cannot say that for sure, but I can say for sure that in the image of Abby on the bridge, in the portion that is outlined in green, that there are no people and there are no cars in that image. Okay, let's take one last look at it. Blink it on and off. All right, just keep looking at it. If you notice, when you have perspective, when you actually can see it in a real world blinking on and off, you can tell that just isn't a large enough area for a car to be in. All right, look at that. I mean, if that's a car, it's a little tiny car that an infant probably wouldn't even fit in. Maybe, one of those ones you have little pedals in, something like that. But that's about it. All right. So, for all you rodeo clowns out there that will still say that they see a car and they see a person, or people, or many cars and many people, you're just wrong, okay? And quit doing it. It's not helping anybody. They're all going, oh, wow, look at that. And then they start looking in the cars and, different paths and stuff. The cars might be under the bridge there. And it's just, it's wild. It's wild, okay? And for the rest of you out there, keep on doing what you do, and we'll see you next time.